one of the main themes of your retreats this year, 2014, in Red Deer in Belgium, is titled The Way of the Shaman. Can you define what is shamanism and also how this possibly differs from the traditional view of shamanism?
First question is, of course, why? Why are we focusing on shamanism? And it has become clear that there are 7 fields of perception. Are there more? Absolutely, but those are the ones that we must master in order to get more. And they deal with 7 levels of existence. They work with the powers in the 7 bodies of man, which we have illustrated in our books, Secrets of the Hidden Realms and Journey to the Heart of God, I believe. And so also the 7 chakras. They receive subtle information at different levels, but they also need to create an output. We have regarded chakras as receptors only. When these fields of perception become balanced, so they not only intake, they're also output, then it requires that the chakras actually start to manifest within those fields. So the field that is most dense, the physical body in man, is represented by the root chakra, and the root chakra, as well as the physical body, has as its field of perception the shamanism that has been long lost upon the earth. Shamanism, as practiced by our indigenous peoples today, is a masculine shamanism, and you can never practice any field with only one pole present, but it becomes, in the end of the day, a distorted field. And magic is another one that is very much that way, that the magic that's being done, even though much of it is working with the feminine principle and the moon and the night and things like that, whatever magical traditions have done in the past, it is again overly polarized in doing instead of receiving, which has led to magic, even with good intention, being black magic, because black magic can be defined as enforcing our will upon the world, even if the will is to fix and help and uplift, because it divides. And when you divide, at the end of the day, somebody has to pay for the benefit somebody else receives, because it's a world of opposites. And so it accrues karma. So therefore, these fields of perception, and we are starting with shamanism at this point, if I look ahead, I can see that by Christmas, by the month of December, we are working with the fields of metaphysics, which is, you have shamanism, and then you have the field of healing, and you have the field of incorruptible magic, you have the field of mysticism, then you have the field of metaphysics, and then you have the field of godhood, and then you have the field that is the river. It's the river that flows. If I look back over my own teachings, since I went into public in February of 1997, I have in fact gone through these exact stages of teaching. And currently we have the online course. What is the name of it?
Well, I Am Presence, but it's not really a course.
It's an ongoing journey. It is the 7th way of teaching for me. To complete this whole spiral of the seed of life, it is the 7th way. Something much different is beyond it. Who knows if I even will teach? I do not know what's coming. But this is my 7th and last step of teaching the way of these perceptual fields. We're going back over them for the remainder of this year, and I would imagine that by the end of January next year, that we are in the 7th one, that we're this journey, this never-ending unfolding, that we're in the 7th one. and recapping how that should be lived. So shamanism, as it should be lived, is the embracing of the many by the one. Shamanism today is the one asking for assistance and allies from the many. It tries to control the many, it tries to bind them, it tries to elicit their assistance, for instance, vision quests, or to find a guardian spirit of your ancestors, sometimes ancestors, to walk the journey with you and to learn how to speak with them. That's basically what that's about. But feminine shamanism is inclusive. It's not exclusive, meaning it isn't relationship forming. And what it is that instead of being the eye of the storm, you become the storm. The eye enlarges and becomes the storm. And plays the notes in the piano within itself like a master pianist through emphasis. I'm sitting here and the sun is shining through the window and these beautiful birds are flying outside, and I'm just in such a state of bliss that speaking is becoming very difficult for me. But it is emphasizing something within me. In exchange, I hope that as I speak these words, that those who listen can feel this state of bliss and wonder and glory at the clouds and the way the light plays upon the water, that it is something that is again inspiring them. When the eye of the storm also becomes the storm within the eye, that is true shamanism. And so that is what we will be studying.
So are you saying that the traditional shaman with his props such as objects and pipes and allies, is that a feature of this shamanism being masculine, or a feature of it having distorted into a kind of black magic?
It's not that shamanism is distorted in and of itself. For instance, the pipe ceremony is a very beautiful ceremony that belongs to a specific group of people on our earth, and it represents beautiful teachings about the masculine and the feminine working together, the bowl and the stem and so forth. The sweat lodge, a beautiful ceremony. Again, it belongs to the native people in that it has specific meaning for them. So it's not that the shamanism that is practiced amongst indigenous people is corrupt. It becomes corrupt quite easily when it tries to have more power than, when it tries to steal power from, and when it tries to control outcome. Outcome is controlled when it is within you, but it is not controlled in a direct method. It is controlled by enhancing the principles within yourself. In this way, you cannot damage life, because to try and force anything onto life creates repercussions that then comes back on yourself.